So next we see the some types of operations to be carried out in the various grades for terminally sterilized products. The first one is grade A. In that type of operation for terminally sterilized products. So in the grade A, the type of operations like filling of products and they are which are usually at the risk. So in the grade A, there are actually a very great risk, and this is very risky work. And in the grade A, the operations like filling of the products are taken out. And next one is grade C. So in the grade C, the placement of filling and sealing machines and preparation of solutions, and also when usually at risk, filling of products when unusually at risk are the operations in grade C. And in grade D, molding, blowing, that means blowing means preforming, and operations of plastic containers and preparation of solutions and components for subsequent filling are in the grade D. So in the grade D, molding occurs and blowing, that means in pre-forming, and operations of plastic containers, preparation of solutions and components for subsequent filling. So next we see the some types of operations to be carried out in the various grades for aseptic preparations. So in the grade A, the class is 100. So grade A class 100. In the class 100, types of operation is aseptic preparation and filling in class 100. And next one is grade B, and class of grade B is class 1000, and type of operation in class 1000 in grade B is background room conditioners for activities requiring grade A. So in the grade B, type of operations like background room conditions for activities of requiring for the grade A, that means for aseptic preparation and fillings. Next one is grade C, and class for grade C is 10,000, and type of operations for grade C is preparation of solution to be filtered. And next one is grade D. So for the grade D, the class is 1 lakh. So the class 1 lakh, and in the type of operation in grade D is handling of components after the washing. So here in the various classes, class 100 grade A, operations like aseptic preparation and filling, and grade B class 1000, there is background room conditioners for conditionings for activities requiring for the aseptic preparation and filling, that means for grade A. And grade C, the class of 10,000, and type of operation in grade C is preparation of solution to be filtered in the grade C. And next one is grade D, class 1 lakh, and in the grade D, operations like handling of components after washing is taken out. So the next one is small volume parenterals. So small volume parenterals, in that means SUV, the volume is less than 100 ml or equal to 100 ml, and in the large volume parenterals, the volume is greater than 100 ml. And in the single dose container, the size is limited to 1000 milliliter, and in the multiple dose container, the size is limited to 30 ml. So next is types of glass. So the types of glass are mainly composed of silicon dioxide, and the glasses are mainly composed of silicon dioxide. In that, first one is powdered glass test. So the powdered glass test is performed on ground surface, and size glass particles are used in the powdered glass test. In the glass 1, powder glass test is used, and second one is water attack test. The water attack test is used for glass type 2, and in water attack test is performed on whole container. So these two tests are most important. First one is powder glass test. This powder glass test is performed on ground and size glass particles, and second one is water attack test. So the water attack test is performed on the whole container. Next we see the types of glasses and their description. Test used for these glasses and their 0.02 n H2SO4 in ml, concentration of 0.02 n H2SO4 ml added in these glasses, and their general uses. So the first one is first type, glass one. So the glass one are highly resistant and they are borosilicate glass. So the glass one are highly resistant and borosilicate glass, and the test is used in the glass one is powdered glass test, and the concentration of 0.02 normal H2SO4 in ml is 1, and the general use of this glass type 1 highly resistant and borosilicate glass is buffered and unbuffered aqueous solutions. So these highly resistant and borosilicate glass are used in buffered and unbuffered aqueous solutions. Second one is treated soda lime glass, and in the treated soda lime glass the test is water attack test, and this is less than or equal to 100 ml size and it is greater than 100 ml size, and for less than and equal to 100 ml size the concentration of 0.02 normal H2SO4 is 0.7, and greater than 100 ml size is 0.2 ml H2SO4 in ml, and the general use of this treated soda lime glass is in buffered aqueous solutions with pH below 7 and in dry powders and in oleaginous solutions. This treated soda lime glass is used. So the next one is type 3 glass soda. So the type 3 glass is soda lime glass, and the soda lime glass the test is used in the soda lime glass is powdered glass test, and the concentration of 0.02 normal H2SO4 in ml for soda lime glass is 8.5 ml, and general use of this soda lime glass is in dry powder and in oleaginous solutions storing. And last one is non-parenterals, and the non-parenterals glasses are generally purpose for soda lime glass, and this non-parenterals general purpose is soda lime glass, and the test for this general purpose of soda lime glass, that means type 4 non-parenterals, the test is used is powdered glass test, and the concentration of 0.02 normal H2SO4 in ml for general purpose soda lime glass, that means non-parenteral, is 15, and the general use of this non-parenterals general purpose soda lime glass is this is used in is not for parenterals, but this is used for the tablets, capsule, oral solutions and or suspensions. These are the uses of general purpose of soda lime glass. So next we see the some evaluation test of the parenteral products. So the evaluation test of parenteral products, in that first one is liquor test. So the liquor test is for packaging integrity test. So liquor test is also known as packaging integrity test, and this test, liquor test, is applicable to only ampoules and they are not for vials and bottles, and 1% of methylene blue dye and vacuum is used in liquor test. So there is a question in GPAT, which chemical is used in liquor test? So and the right answer is 1% methylene blue dye and vacuum is used. Next, and also this defective ampoules become blue in colored in liquor test. Next one is clarity test. This clarity test also known as particulate matter test, and in that the instruments for clarity test is light scattering nephelometer, and for light absorption and electrical resistance, for electrical resistance Coulter counter is machine is used. And as per light obscuration test, by as per USP light obscuration test, United States Pharmacopoeia says that the solutions for the parenterals infusion or the solutions for injection supplied in containers with a nominal content of more than 100 ml, and the preparation complies with the test if the average numbers of the particles present in the units tested they does not exceeds 25 per milliliter, that means they does not exceed 25 per ml equal to or greater than 10 micrometer, and they does not exceeds 3 per milliliter equal to or greater than 25 micrometer. And next, this is that the solutions for parenteral infusion or solutions for injection supplied in containers with a nominal content of they are less than 100 ml, and the solution for parenteral infusion or solutions for injection supplied in containers with a nominal content is more than 100 ml, and the solution for parenteral infusion or solution for injection supplied in containers with a nominal content of less than 100 ml. And this preparation complies with the test if the average number of particles present in the units tested dose is not exceed 6000 per container or equal to or greater than 10 micrometer, and the dose does not exceed 600 per container equal to or greater than 25 micrometer. Next one is pyrogen test. So the pyrogen test, this is for fever response in rabbits. In the pyrogen test, the fever response in rabbits, and for pyrogen testing, the 3 rabbits are used. They are 3 in numbers. 3 rabbits are used for pyrogen test, and if the pyrogens are present in the body, then body temperature rises. And next one is Limulus test, that also known as LAL test. So this LAL test means Limulus test is based on gelling of pyrogenic preparations in presence of the lysate of the amoebocytes of the horseshoe crab. This horseshoe crab is known as Limulus polyphemus. So if the pyrogen is present, then pyrogens are present, then your body temperature rises and the temperature become high of your body. And in the Limulus test, this Limulus test is based on the gelling of pyrogenic preparations in presence of the lysate of the amoebocytes of horseshoe crab and Limulus polyphemus. Next one is sterility test. So the sterility test is method for sterility test is membrane filtration and direct inoculation, and medium used for the sterility test is nutrient broth for aerobic respiration, and second one is fluid thioglycolate for aerobic and anaerobic respiration, and third one is soybean casein digest for the fungi aerobic incubation, and in that soybean casein digest for fungi aerobic incubation, these are for 2 weeks at 30 to 35 degrees Celsius for FTM, and 20 to 25 degrees Celsius for SCD. And next one is, so in the sterility test, methods like membrane filtrations and direct inoculation methods are used in sterility test, and medium use in the for sterility test is nutrient broth. That means nutrient broth means agar agar method is used in the sterility test for aerobic respiration, and second one is for both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Fluid thioglycolate is used for aerobic and anaerobic respiration, and last one is most important, soybean casein digest. So the soybean casein digest is used for the fungi aerobic respiration. So soybean casein digest is used for only for fungi, and the incubation period is for 2 weeks at 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, and 20 to 25 degrees for SCD, and 30 to 35 degrees Celsius for FTM. So the last one is selection of sample size in sterility testing. So the first one is preparation types is injectable, and number of items in each batch for injectable is NMT 100 container, MT 100, but NMT is 500 containers and MT 500 containers, and the minimum number of items is to be used in injectables. They are 10% or 4 containers, whichever is greater than 10 containers, and also 2% or 20, whichever is less. In MT 500 containers, 2% or 20, whichever is less, and MT 100 but NMT 500 containers, the minimum number of items is used in 10 containers, and in NMT 100 container, the minimum number of items is used is 10% or 4 containers, whichever is greater. Okay, then next type of preparation type is ophthalmic preparation, and in that NMT 200 containers and MT 200 containers in batch, and minimum number of items is used in NMT 200 container is 5% or 2 containers, whichever is greater, and in MT 200 there are minimum 10 containers are used. Next one is surgical dressings. So for surgical dressings in batch, NMT number of items NMT 100 packages, and for NMT 100 packages minimum number of items is used is 10% or 4, whichever is greater, and for MT 100 but NMT 500 there are minimum 10 packages are used, and for MT 500 there is minimum 2% or 20 packages whichever is less are used. And next one is bulk solids preparations. So in the bulk solid preparations, LT4 containers in a batch, and the minimums for LT4 container is for in that for and LT4 containers and 3 containers but NMT50 and MT50 containers in a batch are used for bulk solids, and minimum number of items is used to be used for bulk solids. They are in each container 20% or 4 containers whichever is greater, and for MT50 containers 2% or 10 containers whichever is greater, and for 3 containers but NMT is 50 there is 20% or 4 containers whichever is greater is used. Next one is quantity in each container. So the quantity in each container for liquid LT 1 ml 1 ml this 1 ml or more but LT 4 ml 4 ml or more but LT is 20 ml, but 20 ml or more but LT is 100 ml and 100 ml or more. Okay, so for quantity of each container for liquid LT 1 ml the minimum is to be used is total content of container, and for 4 ml or more but LT 20 ml there is half of the container 2 ml is used, and in for 100 ml or more there is 10% of the content of NLT half of the container. And for solids LT 50 mg or more but LT is 200 mg and 200 mg or more, and the minimum content to be used for this for solids is total content is for LT 50 mg total content, and for 50 mg or more but LT 200 mg there is minimum content is used is half content, and 200 mg or more there is 100 mg content minimum is used. Next one is air control HEPA filters. So HEPA filters, HEPA HEPA filters means high efficiency particulate air filter. So this high efficiency particulate air filter removes out the particles of 0.3 micron and larger than this size with the efficiency of 99.97%. So in the GPAT there is a question for HEPA filters removes particle size, and the right answer is particle size of 0.3 microns and larger than this size, and the efficiency is 99.97%. So 0.3 micron particle size and efficiency is 99.97% for the HEPA filters. That means high efficiency particulate air filter. And HEPA filter is the only means for achieving the class 100 clean room, and the air velocity is 100 plus minus 20 feet per minute for HEPA filter. So next we see some class wise. So in the class 100 area the particles count in air is not more than that of 100 per cubic foot of 0.5 micron and larger size, and in class 100 areas the sterile and this class 100 area is sterile and aseptic area. And next one is class 10,000 area. This class 10,000 area in that the particles count in air is not more than 10,000 per cubic foot of 0.5 micron and larger size, and this class 10,000 area is known as manufacturing area. Next one is class 1 lakh area. Class 1 lakh area in that particles count in air is not more than 1 lakh per cubic foot of 0.5 micron and larger size, and the class 1 lakh area is known as packaging and storage area. Last one is freeze drying. So the freeze drying is known as lyophilization. This freeze drying is used when drug is unstable in solution form or thermolabile, and the freeze dried products normally contains less than 1% of moisture. And the steps for freeze drying are: first step is freezing, generally at minus 50 degrees Celsius. This minus 50 degrees Celsius, that means it should be done below the products collapse the temperature. Next is primary drying. The primary drying means sublimation or removal of the frozen water. Next one is secondary drying. So the secondary drying means sublimation of the bound water, and last one is post heat. So here is the end of this part 1 of the parenterals. So hope you like this chapter, parenterals part 1. So if you like this chapter, please comment on comment section and stay connected with PharmaXtech. And please, this is most important chapter for your GPAT examination. So stay tuned for the part 2. So both parts are most important for your GPAT exam preparations. Okay, so please like, share and subscribe to our channel. And thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned with PharmaXtech. Stay connected with PharmaXtech. Thank you. So next we see the some types of operations